Hello, Weebs and Normies. Welcome to the Anime Club. I'm Graham.
And I'm George.
All right, George. We're getting potentially the end of the freaking mystery of what's going on with Zuki. Do you feel like... I guess we didn't have like a very in-your-face resolution when it came to the Zuki issue, but it does feel like we've kind of gotten to the end of this, like the resolution of this. But for some reason, instead of like having it resolve that episode... it's like cut off just as it was about to resolve. Does it feel like that way to you?
I think like we're still in the middle of it because like she can read minds, but like what? Maybe it's partly my thinking is motivated because I'm like I don't see this as a liability as we've clearly
really
discussed already.
Go, huh?
But it's
crazy.
just like what's like how do you fix this? Like okay, she knows now that she needs to like pay attention to other people, but like okay.
I think it's the accepting of that, like, there's going to be a certain level of... because, right, it was two things. It was, one, she couldn't tell it all, which was causing problems, right? She couldn't really read other people. Then it turned into now she can read everyone perfectly, and she's now afraid of what will happen and or the fact that she's not going to be able to know. So... the resolution here is, and what I felt like we were kind of almost getting to pretty much at the end was like an accepting that like you're not going to know everything about people, but awareness is at least the first step to knowing some things about people. And it's not knowing everything about a person, and that like is part of being a normal human being and interacting with people, right? You're not supposed to know everything, right? You're supposed to, there is a certain mask that everyone puts on with each other, and more or less that helps with social interaction to some degree, right? Like people are going to self-sacrifice a little bit. Like if Zuki knows exactly what everyone really truly wants, then the outcome is not necessarily going to be what should be or what they would want the outcome to be, right? Like if they want, thing A, and Zuki now knows they want thing A, but they're acting in the best interest of everyone by going for thing B, right? That if Zuki can't read minds, then going for thing B is what everyone will do and is probably maybe what should do, or like what should be done. But because now Zuki can read minds, she knows like, well, we should go for thing A because that's what you really want. But it's like, that's not how the social contract works. Well, that's not what should be happening.
Sure. To go off of that, then, do you think instead of necessarily just accepting that she's not always going to know what people think, maybe that's part of it, but the real danger is that she's starting to conform. Not that you shouldn't care what people think, but you shouldn't care to the point that it changes like who you are. Like she's changed her whole style, and like maybe like her choices and everything are starting to change. And like obviously some of that's good. Like you do want to be generally aware of like other people's feelings and stuff. You don't want to be a jerk, but if you start to conform too much, then like that's too much the other way now. Right?
True. That's a great freaking point. Yeah. So maybe the resolution will be her accepting like I need to pay attention to other people, but I can't let those desires of others affect who I am and what I want to be. And so I need to find the balance between those two kind of aspects. Yeah, that's a great freaking point. Yep.
Okay. Well,
let's find out.
Only one way to find out. Yes, let's do it.
There they are.
Sweet bullet. There they are. Yeah. Oh, there's a bunch of bands.
Yeah. Idol groups.
Yeah. Or idol groups. Yeah. Dude, she's changed so much, man.
Yeah. So interesting. Can she read it still? Oh. Oh boy, she's just throwing out the big freaking question here. Holy frick.
I'm glad to see like that his sister has like properly adjusted.
She has
a job
so well
and everything.
Yeah, dude. It's amazing. What is this?
That's her. That's her.
It's her driving? Yeah, she's got a little sticker. She's a driving in training or a driver in training.
Oh, is that what that means?
Yeah, yeah.
That little like green and yellow thing?
Yeah.
Get wrecked.
I mean, she's probably loaded, bro. Oh boy. Yeah, but she has a license now. You know, this might be lost on you a little bit, actually, George, but it's not a given that you're going to have a driver's license in Japan. Or especially in Tokyo. Yeah. Like, it's very common for people to not know how to drive at all, not have a driver's license, not anticipate that they're going to drive at all generally. You can do everything on public transit. You can do long distance traveling on public transit through the bullet trains. So it's not necessarily, it's like because in America, it's just a foregone conclusion. Like, you will get a license and you will drive. That's just how it's going to go. But in Tokyo, at least, I obviously can't speak for all of Japan.
I guess
but
it makes sense.
Yeah, in many of the places, it's like, do you want to drive? Is this like a thing you want to do? Like, you don't have to do it. It's your choice. You can take the trains, right? That's like your options. Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
It's weird. Like, I'm sure it would feel different having such like good, reliable public transportation, right? But like where I live, dude, I'm in like the middle of nowhere almost. And so like, I don't even know if there's a bus that drives by my house. So like, it's so like the states are so big, dude, that like, can't necessarily like you need a car. And so like, it's kind of weird thinking, like, I think to myself, bro, it feels like, you know, you're losing mobility in a sense, but no, in Japan, public transportation is much better. Yeah.
And depending on where you're going and how far away it is, it may be faster to go on the train, might be cheaper because you don't have to get gas. Yeah. You don't have to buy a car, insurance, those things for sure. But also you don't have to pay for parking in like different paid parking in the city and stuff. And you don't necessarily need a car. I ride a bicycle like a total Chad. And it's sometimes faster, depending on where I'm going, to ride my bicycle than it is to ride on the train. So, you know, so there's that. A date. It kind of is.
It's a date. Is he gonna tell her about puberty syndrome?
I wonder. I assume she just knows. Oh, they're 3D? Oh no, it's just really smooth animation. That's crazy. Dang, they've grown big.
Yeah.
Remember they were doing this in like a basement not so long ago.
Yeah. Seriously. Oh, she is not in it.
Yeah, interesting. It could just be the vibe of the song.
Maybe, yeah. Looks like a sad song.
They are 3D there. No, this is 3D right now. It's pretty good 3D though. At least from a distance, you can't really tell.
She's like not singing though. Oh boy.
Oh. Is that metaphoric or is that literal?
I was wondering that. Yeah, is this puberty syndrome, right?
Being erased?
She's losing. Yeah, because she's conforming, right?
Right.
So
she's losing her own voice. Oh, frick. Okay, we're not out of the weeds yet, maybe.
Oh.
What is going on?
Bro, that sucks. No. Well, lost her voice, yes, but not because of like physical stuff.
Dang, and they just like played it off.
She's reading their minds.
She is. She seemed relieved reading Mai's mind, maybe.
Yeah, I think so. I wonder what Mai said to her.
Yeah.
Or maybe she didn't even say anything. Maybe it's just what she genuinely was thinking.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. I think Mai was thinking, you know, nice thoughts, and so Zuki was a little happy about it. I don't know. Does Mai know that she can read minds? Like Sakuta definitely knows.
He knows, but it depends whether he's told her or not. It doesn't seem like he's told her.
Yeah, I guess I would imagine that.
But they did talk about like the swapping bodies and stuff just now, so maybe he's told her.
Yeah, is it an off-screen like assumption that like of course Sakuta would tell her, so she just automatically knows it's assumed, or is it like because we haven't seen him expressly tell her yet that she doesn't exactly know what's going on? Like I can't imagine that this is going on and he hasn't explained what's going on to her. Like surely that would be so strange, right? Be like, oh, by the way, you know, she can read fucking minds. Just a heads up, like. Okay. They're pushing it again. It's popular.
Want the money, dude.
Yeah.
But she knows. She's read their minds.
Yeah.
They don't need to tell her. Oh boy. I don't think she'll be okay for tomorrow, dude.
Yeah. But it's a mental thing, right? It's not a physical thing per se.
Yeah, if she can overcome this. Let's hope.
Oh boy. What is the key here?
I wonder.
The thing that's tough about this is like a really good real life scenario where there's no right answer. Like her solo debuting is a great option, but staying with her team that she's been with for so long is also, you know, a fine enough option, it seems like. And then without her, Sweet Bullet potentially sinks, right? Like if she really is that popular and she's the main face of Sweet Bullet, then like Sweet Bullet's freaking toast. Like her leaving destroys that whole operation. Potentially.
But her staying could, if Sweet, like she said, I don't remember how long she said they've been doing it, right? But if they've been going this long and have seen no success, like they've seen moderate success, obviously.
Right.
It's just like
staying with
how much longer?
Right. Will potentially sink her opportunities. Yeah, it's just a really real life scenario. And then it's compounding on the fact that she's just really concerned about what other people are thinking about this scenario, which has caused, you know, another level of this issue.
Yeah. So they all see the writing on the wall, dude.
Yeah. Oh. Oh no, their rock
She was
is
like,
crumbling.
they're freaking, yeah, exactly, dude.
Dang.
Man, that sucks. Not being able to reciprocate that way.
Yeah, that's freaking sad for them.
I wonder if she'll be in the crowd. Like disguised or something.
That's a good question. Maybe they do well without her here and it's a reason for them to go separate ways.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh boy.
Dang, they're performing in the rain, bro.
Yeah.
Oh! No!
No way.
Dude, where's the stage people? Okay.
You're kidding. It's just rain. They don't want to go? Yeah. No, it's falling apart.
Dang. Oh, is she there?
She's there.
She's there. Dude. I had a feeling that would be the case, man.
Wow. Bro, she really loves this freaking group. People are leaving slowly. It's a good visual.
They didn't do it now.
In the center position. Oh. She's the frickin', she's picking it up.
Let's go.
What did he say?
That girl's not gonna be on stage. They're looking for her.
They're looking for Zuki.
Yeah. Because she's the famous one, right? She's the one that went viral.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Oh my gosh. This is so disheartening.
Bro, this is rough, dude.
Holy frick. Bro, it's eating her up inside.
They're doing it for the love of the game.
That's true. Yeah, you gotta read the room, not just their minds.
Yeah. No way!
No way! Oh!
How
No
symbolic,
way.
bro. The freaking mics start working.
Let's go! No.
And the
Of
sun,
course.
dude.
That's amazing. Dang. She's staying. There's no way. She definitely stays now.
Yeah, this was their decision, dude.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
She wants to lift up her friends. She knows she's
Yeah.
got the popularity, so she's made her choice. Yeah, I think that's what it comes down to, isn't it? Right? She goes, you know what? They know, my friends know.
Wait, hold on. Before you say much, read this line right here. I decided to accept the offer for the solo debut.
No!
Hold on.
No, you
hold on. I thought she was going to stay too. What?
No way. This is destroying everything I was about to say, George. I was about to give a great commentary onto what I thought was going to happen.
Okay.
Obviously, I didn't think that was going to happen.
Say as well. Yeah, I have some stuff to say as well about this.
Okay.
But let's just see what she does first, because she's doing
She's
both.
doing both? I mean,
Okay.
I didn't realize it was an option. I thought that
True.
was-
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Now that I think about it, it's like,
She can't read the room. She can't read the room anymore. That was her not reading the room.
Yeah. She's
Frick.
cured.
She's cured.
Let's go, baby.
So she's
Let's
going
go.
to do both. What the frick? I didn't realize that was an option. I thought that was the whole fucking point. That wasn't a freaking option, George. What the frick?
That was that's like an option in like reality, but I was thinking like we're constrained to these like arbitrary
these binary
rules
choices.
because it's like because it's part of what resolves her inner conflict.
Yes. Not I'm gonna do both. What the frick? Oh my gosh.
Oh my
what
gosh.
the frick is this? This feels a bit like a scapegoat. What the frick? So she'll definitely be able to take him to the Budokan then, because she'll raise in popularity in her solo debut. But then that'll help bring up the sweet bullet as well. So, I mean, it's a freaking win-win scenario. Like, what's the problem? It's going to be hella busy. Maybe it's just like, it's a death march of work and responsibility, which I would not freaking envy that position. As someone who's done acting and voice acting in Japan and does them regularly, being busy where you're doing like dance recitals and learning songs and then doing commercials and acting and stuff, bro, that would wipe you the frick out. That'd be crazy. So... Oh, there she is.
There she is. Back to normal.
Cured. Oh, she's going out of
quitting
school. Oh. Dang.
Okay.
Wow, there she goes, pursuing her dream. What an airhead.
What a yeah, dude. The character. No way, this is the Santa Claus? Oh! She gave the powers?
Is she the giver of freaking syndromes?
What? Toko. Oh, of a lost singer. Toko can give it. She's who gives out the powers?
That's why these puberty syndromes are happening in this timeline, because she exists and she's handing them out like freaking gifts. She's Santa Claus.
Yeah, but like, what? Because did she exist in the other timeline as well? I don't think she did. Well, when he swapped bodies with his other self, he did leave that note on the notebook, right? He's like, hey, do you know of this girl?
Okay, but when the two Sakutas swapped, which timeline? That was before the timeline reset, though, was it not?
Yes, that was like still in the midst.
That was leading up to the timeline swapping. So she was in that original timeline. So then that means she's also in this timeline as well, right? It's specifically this Sakuta's timeline that he's in, that because the other Sakuta's like, who the hell's this girl? I've never heard of this girl before, right? So the other Sakuta,
how did he interact? We'll call this timeline
A. Ours.
Okay,
right?
I was thinking like before the reset, we could call that one A.
Okay,
we could call this one B, and then other Sakuta C.
Yeah, so we have, sure, it would maybe be more accurate to, well, I guess it is a different timeline, but yeah, so we could say it's timeline A was the original we watched, timeline B is the new one we're on, and then we could even say like dimension B is kind of like the other Sakuta. It's like a totally different Sakuta. Because they didn't just like, it's not just a timeline, they swap spots, right? So they're two distinct different people, right? So that's kind of a factor.
Yeah, I'll call it Dimension 2 or something. If I call it Dimension 2, I'll get confused with whatever. Yes. But anyways, okay, so Dimension 2's Sakuta went over to timeline A.
Yep.
And he asked her, or he left in the notebook.
Yep.
Do you know about her? Okay.
Kirishima, yeah. And then they had a timeline reset where minor changes happened, and now they're in B. They're in D1. That would be TB. Dimension 1, timeline
B. Yes, sure.
Yes.
Okay.
We got to freaking flowchart this.
Yes. How did Dimension 2 Sakuta, did he meet her?
No, he must have heard of her and then he must have like saw that everything was the same other than his circumstance with Sakuta. That's why he's like, get your crap together, bro. Like, what the frick is wrong with you?
Yeah.
But then everything else was the same, except there was this really popular singer that he had never heard of before. Like, it was like, that's the only thing that's different. Like, that's weird. And then Dimension 2 Sakuta, being the Chad that he is, like Dimension 1, is he just like adapted to the fact that like all this crazy stuff was happening like super fast.
Well, yeah, like, but the thing is that, like, okay, you've just swapped bodies,
right?
And like, his life apparently is much worse, like in school and all that. Like the Dimension 1's Sakuta's life was like much worse and everything. So like, this singer seems like a rather odd thing to focus on. Like, okay, yeah, maybe this is like, that's only the only new thing, right? But like, I'm trying to put myself in that body. Like, what a freaking weird experience that would be. I almost wouldn't have like the mental faculties to like focus on a singer. Yeah,
to
like
something
even
like
if
that.
she's different, like I almost assume that there's going to be a lot of people that I don't know in this other
Sure,
timeline,
that's
right?
fair. That's
or this
fair.
other dimension. So like I'm trying to think of like, okay, like what is it about her? Like did she visit that Sakuta then? Right? Did Toko or
Did she talk
Toko
to
visit
D2?
dimension D2 Sakuta?
Oh, did she talk to D2? That's a good question. I would say that's a possibility. I would say it's more likely. We know that Sakuta is pretty chill and calculating. So I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that D2 goes to D1 and then is like, okay, testing things out. He starts noticing things are different quite a bit. He's still at like the apartment and, things are different. So he's kind of like, he actually, you know what? This actually supports this whole scenario. D2 Sakuta, while he's in D1, is noticing that things are different. So his mindset probably immediately shifts to, we need to find the differences. I need to figure out what the heck is going on and how this dimension is different from my own dimension. And so he starts seeing in his own sphere what is different. And then everything else outside of his sphere is the same, except this one random fucking thing in the corner, right? So he's like, okay, my life is different because, something has happened with this D1 Sakuta. And so I got to tell him to freaking get it together. But then, like, he's looking at everything else, like, the history, blah, 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 what's current events. Everything seems exactly the same. And he's like, so it's only just localized to me. And then he notices this one thing of like this ultra popular singer that everybody knows. And he's like, okay, well, that's like the one outlier outside of my bubble that's different. That's fucking weird. So then he goes, have you heard of this person? Kind of thing.
So in D2, what was his living situation? Was he with his parents still?
Yeah, it was because the stuff had never happened. He stopped the bullying to Kaide by getting on the loudspeaker and was just like, frick the bullies. And then they stopped, basically. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And then the bullying never happened, right? It got immediately crushed. And then at least her syndrome never happened. Now, does that mean none of them happened? I don't know.
Yeah,
it
like
depends.
Again, it still feels so weird that he would be thrust in a world where like he's not with his parents, his sister's like totally broken and all this stuff.
Sure. And
he still has the ability to focus on that. But maybe Sakuta does pick up on things rather quick.
Yeah.
Essentially, the whole point of this though is like, is Toko really the mastermind or the orchestrator behind like all of this stuff, right? Like, is
That's the question.
She's clearly not maybe a Toko is around in the D2 and Dimension 2, but she's just like a regular person. There's nothing right about her. Like, she's just like a person that exists and she looks the same, has the same name, but she doesn't have any of this puberty syndrome giving ability. Or does she exist in that dimension as well, but the Sakuta of that dimension is an NPC. The main character in D2 is somebody we've never heard of, right?
True.
And like that's where all the dealings are happening. And puberty syndrome is a constant across dimensions and across Tokos, but the person that's like the solver of all this can just be whoever.
Whoever. It's a great freaking question. It's a great question. Yeah, to what you were saying about Sakuta and being a little skeptical about that, I would say that the like superpower of Sakuta, his like core character trait, is being able to calmly and rationally assess dire scenarios. That's like in his freaking DNA. He's like freaking bred like a canine for that freaking thing. He knows how to handle that. So it's not too much of a stretch to me to think that he gets teleported to another dimension and then he very astutely starts processing and assessing what's happening. That's like, he's just like his MO, right? We've seen him do that time and time again. Crazy stuff happens. And generally, outside of very specific scenarios where like people's lives are in danger imminently, he dies. Or he dies, right?
Or he dies himself. Yeah.
He does quite a good job. That's like very much in character. So I'm not too surprised at that. It doesn't seem like too much of a stretch, to be honest.
Yeah, it's hard to say exactly what this whole thing
I want to see what she frickin' said here again. What a waste. After everything I did to get her to be able to read the room.
Yeah, it's almost as if she doesn't want her to solve the puberty syndrome.
What a waste, she says. What a waste. I gave you this gift and you wasted it.
Yeah, like, clearly she's doing much better mentally now than she was when she had the gift. Obviously, she had, like, whatchamacallit, like the conflict, the internal turmoil and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. Maybe does this hint at a possibility that you can have the power of puberty syndrome without the consequence? Without the, or sorry, not the consequence, but without the I don't know. I was gonna say without the internal turmoil.
Is the internal situation causing it?
Yeah, like is that just like a portal so that their mind's more susceptible to receiving the gift, but you can receive it without it?
Right. Or is it the gift
I don't know.
that causes it?
Because like some of them are detrimental. Like Mai and her sister switching bodies.
Right. Or the time loop.
The time loop, right? But maybe the time loop one you were able to control. Maybe it got to the point if she developed it right and everything, maybe she would be able to control.
You really want this to be a superpower thing.
Well, not necessarily. I'm just trying to like read why she would say like that's a waste, right? Like, okay, everything that's happened around puberty syndrome has objectively made people's lives worse, right? So
after everything I did, she did things. So did she orchestrate the scenario that caused this? Because, like, if you're just giving a power to someone, you don't say, after everything I did. You say, like, after giving them such a nice ability to read the room is what you would say if you just gave them one thing. But after everything I did to make her read the room seems like
implies there was more
lot.
than just like a waving of the wand. Yeah, maybe what she does is she plants the seed of whatever the thing will eventually become, and then once that's done, she has to orchestrate the actual events that like make it bloom, right?
Right, and she's much more. She's like weirdly like tunnel visioning on just giving an ability and not about the mess that she's creating with the ability.
Yeah, because like. Right now, if you were to tell me without knowing anything else, there's this character that's going to come up in the show, and they're the ones that are like doing all this, causing all this puberty stuff to happen, I'd be like, oh, okay, that's the villain. All right, okay. Sure. Simply because she doesn't look evil, I'm not immediately like, oh, this is the villain, right? I'm thinking, okay, does she have some sort of maybe more noble intention, but she's just executing it poorly? But without seeing what she looks like, I would immediately have imagined a villain. Because these puberty syndrome things have just they've not been good. And their lives have only been better once they solved it and got rid of it.
Yeah, right? And then she feels like, and it's not like she's giving them a power just based off of her statement of it's a waste, it denotes perfectly that she's not giving them these powers so that they can grow across this scenario. It's either she's brought on this scenario to give them the power, or she's given them the power that has caused this scenario in some sort of way, and then losing it and growing from that is the waste, is losing that ability. Yeah, because it's such a good question, because like, is she causing scenarios that then like necessitate the need for the power, and then she gives them that? Or is she creating the scenario which creates the power and you need the scenario to make the power? Or is she seeing a scenario that needs to be dealt with, like, you know, I like this person or I don't want to be asked out, and then giving like a time loop power to avoid that situation, to, you know, like as a gift to avoid that. But really what they don't need is a power. What they need is to grow up and just get over it, right? So
yeah, dude, I don't know.
Yeah, we've got our Santa Claus though, earlier than I expected.
Yeah, I was just about to say, like, she hasn't come up again.
Yeah. I thought when I heard her talking, when I heard her say such a waste, I was like, it couldn't be. There's no way it's going to be. There's no way they're just going to reveal her. And then it panned to her and I was like, no way, bro. She's here. She's talking about the power and everything. What the frick? I'm surprised you can see me.
So you can see me. Surprised. So you can see me.
So that makes me think that at some point he couldn't, and she's been there the whole time.
Yes,
with the powers, and
now
maybe he can finally see her.
Maybe the others, Sakuta could. Maybe D2 could.
Maybe, yeah.
If she's always been around here, hanging around Sakuta, why?
That's true.
Unless she's aware, unless she gave him the thing to switch and she like showed up. It's like, did it actually work? Did they actually switch? Oh, he did. Oh, hi. Like, I don't know. I don't know exactly.
Maybe they switched and D2 did see her and he's like, who are you? And she's like, I'm freaking Kirishima. Right? And he's like, okay, I don't know who you are. I've never met you before. Right? Maybe she's just like.
And then she knows, she's like, the puberty syndrome I gave him, it's working or whatever.
Right.
I don't know, dude. She's like, maybe she is benevolent and realizes that, well, no, why would she say such a waste?
Yeah.
I was going to say, maybe she realizes that, like, they will overcome the thing, but no, like, it's just the way she words it, bro. It makes it so hard
I know. To give her the benefit of the doubt. Yeah. Good. Maybe she thinks the power is worth more than the growth, right? And that's why she thinks it's a waste. She's like, yeah, like, sure, maybe it was causing some problems and maybe you need to grow, sure, but like, come on, you can read the room like in an incredible fashion. Like, that's a waste if you're throwing that away.
Yeah, and maybe this isn't puberty syndrome. Maybe this is something else. Yeah, because like, just last episode when they went to that, I don't know what it was called, that like house or whatever, but she's like, is this puberty syndrome? And he's like, probably. But it wasn't like a for sure, like, yes, this is 100% puberty syndrome. We filled in the gap saying, oh yeah, this is puberty syndrome.
It is definitely, it was for sure.
Probably could be, but like, I'm trying, this is another out right for her. Maybe it wasn't, right? And it's something different. But who knows? That's hard.
Yeah. Interesting.
Dang.
Very interesting. So you can see me. What else does she say? Is that it? Gotta hand it to you, Asu Sagawa. And who are you again? Should know about me already. Oko Kirishima. You should know about me already.
Maybe she met D2.
She
didn't realize it was D2, right? I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Or she knew that D2 wrote the frickin' letter to D1.
Or maybe she knows that, yeah.
Right? And then she knows that. Or because she knows she's famous, she knows, yeah, you know me already. I'm frickin' Toku Kirishima. That could be it too. You're right? Mm-hmm. So many angles. So many possibilities.
So many angles, dude. It's hard. It's hard. It's episodes like these where I wish we had...
I know.
We would watch 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Alas.
Frick.
Alas.
All right, this has been a fun one. I can't believe we got the reveal already, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, we're only in episode 3.
I know.
Is like,
that's
gonna
crazy.
Be a big. Yeah, that's.
I thought we were gonna get this at the end. They kind of freaking played us a bit by being like, "Oh, here's a little scenario. Maybe there'll be some more scenarios," and then they're like, "No, we gotcha." It's like, oh,
yeah, dude.
All right.
This was a cool scenario, though. This hit way more to home than I would have expected, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Because, like, you know, the channel stuff, like, it's fun and it's great and everything, but it takes time.
Yeah.
And that's something I don't have a lot of. And
sure.
I would be, and we've had this conversation, you know, privately and stuff like that, but I would be lying if I didn't say that the thought of just like, you know, walking away at some points hasn't like kicked in. Sure. But at the same time, I'm like, you know what? Even if we never had anybody watch our videos, I would still like to sit down and watch anime with Graham. That's like the conclusion I arrived to now, not all the anime is equal, and there'd be like a lot more rejection of certain animes.
You don't feel
happening.
that every time with all the anime, but at least the core is there.
the yes, exactly. The general thing would be there, and so like that's like a thing. That's where I settled, and it's been like it was a weight off of like, you know what? It doesn't matter. Like the growth is nice, but that's not really what we're after. That's not really the whole thing. If it happens, great. We welcome it. If we were ever managed to go full time, even better. We'd be able to do this even more, right? But like, we settled to the, you know what? Even if there was no growth, it's something I'd like to continue and stuff. And so
it's a good activity.
That, like this, that was a very good, or not very good, but that was it was like very close to some of the things. It's like, I want the channel to grow, but like, it's not as if I had like if I go solo, I'm going to do so much better. It's more so there's so much happening in life already that I want to do and devote to that. Like I would be able to devote more time to all those things. Right. So.
Yeah, and like Zuki, you got to give something up, right? To do one thing, you got to give up another, and so she chose the university and stuff. So yeah, it's interesting. It definitely is. It definitely is interesting. I don't really have, because I don't have a family and huge responsibilities and a full-time job and stuff, because I do more freelance work. But there is definitely, I don't feel that as so as a result, I don't feel that as keenly. But it's definitely comes up. I definitely can understand the feeling of like the pinch of decisions and opportunity costs. So yeah, it's interesting for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Well, comment time.
Comments? Let's do it.
Alrighty. I have a comment from YouTube from a good old member. Thank you for being a member, Monsieur or Madame Heliorok. Heliorok Light. Nailed it. Bakemonogatari should take this slot after the show is over. Not seriously, but the story structure is similar. Oh man, how much should I say about Bakemonogatari? Bakemonogatari, before we actually watch that? It's inevitable that we will watch it, George. But I will say, I absolutely despise Bakemonogatari.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
I guess I'll probably repeat myself when we start watching it for the first time, so more people who are more interested in our opinions specifically on that show will probably hear it. But yeah, I'm not a fan of that show. I think I've watched one episode and I've seen like clips and stuff. I will get into why. I'll save that for when we begin it. We'll definitely watch it at some point. And I remove all personal bias as much as possible when it comes to which anime we're going to watch. So if it comes up on a vote, which actually it came up on a vote and almost won one of the popularity polls.
Almost won, yeah.
Yep. So we'll definitely watch it at some point. It seems like it could be sooner rather than later. And I will be open-minded when we watch it. But I'm not really a big fan of that series. But we'll see. We'll see. I appreciate you being a member and even just making the suggestion. I think any suggestions are great to see. So appreciate your comment.
Okay. Well, thank you. We'll see. We'll eventually get to it, and I'm interested to see what you dislike about it. My comment is from Man Veruthen over on Patreon. Thank you for being a member on Patreon. The comment says, when we were introduced to Uzuki in the second movie, her whole thing was that she was incapable of fitting in, hence her dropping out of school and eventually going to the online school. So she's pretty much the last person one would expect to learn to read the room and suddenly fit in like that. I've forgotten that that's how we initially met her, but yeah, now I remember that.
How ironic.
The second part,
she's dropping out of school again.
Yes, true. Exactly. The second part of the comment is about the timeline stuff, and it says, as for the whole timeline reset, unless something is explicitly mentioned to be different or related to Shoko, I guess it's safe to assume it all happened mostly the same as in the original timeline. They even said the president with Koga's arc that after the summer got reset, most everything somehow happened pretty much the same anyway outside of the Koga Sakuta fake dating stuff. So that makes sense because Shoko said that she like worked to try and make things right, pretty much the same and everything.
Yep.
But so I wonder how Toko fits into that.
That's the question. That means she
did
potentially
say,
existed before.
Yeah, she's like, I remember everything. The only thing I don't remember is this girl. And
wait, Shoko
weird.
said that about... You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Shoko did say that about Kirishima. Right. Oh.
So like, is she a new phenomenon in just timeline B? Maybe everything happened mostly the same, right? But like butterfly effect caused this big change to happen. Maybe the Koga Sakuta fake dating was pivotal in making sure Toko didn't show up somehow, right? I don't know. Like if that was one of the main things that was like different, right? Like,
okay, that's true. I totally forgot about that. That's a pretty important piece of information because Shoko did say that in timeline A that Kirishima did not exist, at least in the scale of popularity that would allow her to be aware, right, of her existence.
Yeah.
Rick, what does that mean then? So she was created in this timeline. So then she's not the giver of puberty syndromes because then the puberty syndromes happened regardless of Kirishima being there in timeline A. But then maybe she was still in timeline A, but she just doesn't become popular enough to be noticed. That's a possibility, right?
Yeah,
that's still a possibility.
That is a possibility. Yeah, that's why I was saying, like, like, is it puberty syndrome? Like what just happened just now?
Yeah, I think it is.
Right? Yeah, it could be. Like, it is more likely that it is. Yeah, it most likely is. But, like, I'm just trying to think of like any other possibility here.
Yeah. Interesting. All right, well, we're not going to get any frickin' answers squeezing any more out of this frickin' stone, but it's very interesting. That's a good
This is a crazy one, though. This is a good one. Yeah, so thank you for that comment. That is a good reminder, good information to remember. So thank you so much. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this reaction. If you want to see this series 2 weeks ahead of time, check out the Patreon or the channel membership. While you're at it, check out the playlists of all the other stuff that we've watched. If you're brand new to the channel and you've only, because of season 2, we've already watched season 1 if you haven't picked on that by now. So, check the playlist. But with that, we'll see you guys next week.
Hey, buddy.
Take care.